Hi everybody, welcome to Convertible Conversations. Glad you could join us today. You're looking at my backyard, which we have a lot of fun in lots of different ways. When we first moved here, there were no fences at all. And so the neighbors' kids could come over and play with our kids and our grandkids and just run all over the backyard. And then eventually, one by one, some fences got put in for different reasons. Not by us, but by neighbors, and certainly their prerogative. But that didn't leave as much room for the kids to play. But we used to come out at any given time, and we encouraged this, and all the neighbor kids would be playing out in the backyard, our yard, going to yard to yard to yard, and every once in a while we'd hear one of them go, "No fair, no fair," and somebody else would go, "No fair, no fair," and then I'd have to come up and decide what was fair. And you know, I find the same things happening in the religious world. Grace is actually God's love in action, demonstrated primarily at the cross. And that was when God made everybody right with Him, made all of us forever pure, right, holy, innocent, right with God with no conditions because of His unconditional love expressed as grace. You know who likes that? Everybody but religious people. Religious people tend to go, "Not fair. You have to do something." And depending on what group you belong to, you either have to believe, or you have to believe and confess, or you have to believe and confess and be baptized, the right way, of course, or you have to believe and confess and be baptized and keep the commandments, or you have to believe and confess and baptize the right way, keep the commandments, and see the Bible as inerrant, or you have to do all of those things and serve the poor, or you have to do all of those things and not go to R-rated movies, or you have to be all of those things and certainly not be gay, or you have to do all of those things and not drink, or all of those things and not vote Republican or not vote Democrat. And they say it's just not fair if God would include you if you don't do those things, which of course they say we think you have to do. And the only fair thing, many religious people seem to say, and I'm not picking on religious people because this is exactly where I was coming from and exactly what I believed up until I was about 60 years old. Religious people tend to say the only fair thing is for God to torture people forever in a unbelievably harsh torture chamber that God made before the beginning of time, specifically to put people who wouldn't do those things I just talked about. They say that's fair for God to do that. Well, many of us have just heard those things and we've either rotely believed that and told other people when we know it can't be right, or unfortunately many people have just given up on God. One of the two things. Well, I'm glad God gets to decide. I'm glad He's the one that gets to come out in the backyard and say, "Whoop, time out. I'm in charge. I get to say what's fair." And here's the deal. It's fair for me to love everyone unconditionally. It's fair for me to give grace to everyone. It's fair for me to include and accept everyone, no matter what, because I'm the one who gets to decide. I'm sure glad God gets to decide and not us. Aren't you? Thanks for watching.